Hello everyone. I hope that all my warriors, fibromyalgia, chronic pain warriors out there are doing well. Happy October. Whew. Definitely feel the change of weather in the air. So I just wanted to come on as it is the beginning, the first weekend of October. I believe it's October 4th. And yeah, I just wanted to come on and share a situation that happened. And I'm being vulnerable because it's not something that I'm proud of, that I even think about, but who knows, maybe someone else out there has these thoughts or has had these particular thoughts. Before I go into my little story situation of something that occurred, it's about real close to around the time that I was diagnosed. Not too long after is kind of when this particular situation happened. But really quick, before I start, just keeping my head on swivel and checking my surroundings. But check that out. Just absolutely beautiful. Since I missed the sunset, yeah, that moon, beautiful. Wow, it seems like I keep hearing things, but yeah, there's probably, last week I didn't get to speak on this, but last week I was here on a Sunday night, yeah, and it was dark, and we had come up here for it's like a car show or some kind of silent Sunday, some kind of gathering. But anyway, we noticed that there are we saw lights at one of the tops of one of the many mountains out here, and we're like, oh, let's go up there. I'm like, okay. So someone else grabbed their hiking shoes because they had sandals on. I always have sneakers on. I love being comfortable. Don't mind sandals here and there, but yeah, the most comfort for me, sneakers, tennis shoes. Yeah. So we were coming down, and my youngest was like, oh, we need more light. I'm like, okay, let me use it. And the other person was like, we don't need light. No, what are you talking about? And prior to all of this, I don't hear too well out of my right ear. And so they were saying, we hear noises. Like, what's that noise? We've never heard that kind of noise before. And I'm like, I don't hear anything. I don't know and I'm concentrating on my breath, of course, because I'm like, I don't want to stumble, miss a step or anything like that. So I'm not really, and then the sound of our hiking shoes, on the rocks and gravel and dirt. I'm like, I didn't hear anything. But on the way back, I want to say I kind of heard something kind of like, I was going to say kind of like what I'm hearing now, which is like a little like insect noise, but I don't even really hear that now. But I looked to my right, and it was a big, huge rock. And there was this thick snake. The only snake I'm a native, Arizona native. I've only seen a gardener snake or whatever. So really small, thin, real active. And I don't want to, my memory of that was not great, so I don't even want to bring that up. But of what happened when we saw it outside of the garage when I was a child. But yes, I screamed. I didn't want the rest of people to get nervous, but now I'm nervous. So now only am I looking around to make sure that I'm safe from other people. I'm also having to keep my eyes on swivel for things like snakes. So, I mean, even when I come out here, I always think about, the different insects that could come. Like, I already just got bit by a mosquito because my hand is itching, but they love my blood for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm just... So yeah, that was the end of that. I was so freaked, so nervous and scared that it was a rattlesnake. Yeah, we just kept moving really fast. So yeah, in no time I could care less about getting footage of the habitat that I'm in. I'm in their habitat, so yeah, I could care less about. I was just trying to get out of their way completely. So that's that story. But back to the initial story, the one that I wanted to share, situation for the month of October. Let me get over here, folks. I had to come back in the car because, like I had mentioned a second ago, mosquitoes love my blood for whatever reason. So I'll just have to tell the story from my car. So, oh gosh. So when I was first diagnosed, I definitely recall certain friends. I definitely recall people sending me like links or possibly helpful things. Some things, when I think back in the past, like cures. I even had one lady, so I'm going to refer you to this OBGYN. She's the best out here. She doesn't believe in that fibromyalgia BS in so many words. And yes, she's like, you need to see her because it's definitely something else. Fibromyalgia is a catch-all, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. And I never got that OBGYN's number, but because I had heard, a lot of people will say that, but yeah, I do agree with like getting your blood test, getting everything like squared out. What is the word? X'd out or whatever. But back to the story. So there was one old coworker. She had sent me a link on Instagram to follow this person, and it said under their bio something fibromyalgia warrior or survivor. It said something, but it had fibromyalgia in the description. Like I said, this was like well over 10 years ago, because yeah, it was around the time that I was like newly diagnosed. So around 2015 is probably when I received the link to this Instagram page. And so when I saw the woman, I was like, wow, she looks great. And in my newly diagnosed mind, I'm like, she doesn't look like she has fibromyalgia. But I continue to watch her story, her things that she posted. She lived in Florida, so she always had like beautiful views and just seemed upbeat. And I was following other fibromyalgia people who have chronic pain, chronic illness, invisible illness, and I noticed that they were like me. Like I would see they would post from their bed or from the hospital or just things like that, but she really never touched. I want to say out of the whole time, and I probably followed her page for about 2 years or so. Yeah. And she may have touched on it once, even when she cut some body work done. She didn't even, I just knew she was going to bring that up. I'm like, okay, she just had a cosmetic surgery. I know she's going to talk about, pain meds or just something. But no, that was it was never. So I basically unfollowed that person because I just felt like it wasn't the type of person that I wanted to follow at the time. So, and the story, the thing that I want to share that I'm not proud of is that I just felt like maybe even if she brought up fibro here and there, maybe that would have changed. But I think the fact I may have been a little bit jealous, and I don't know if anyone else has felt that way currently or previously, but I learned to not be, I hate to use the word jealous because it sounds so awful. But I can't think of another word. But I just feel like people, when you see yourself not doing the things that you used to be able to do without having to pay for it, you listen to someone else and they're doing the most, and it's appearing as if they're not paying for it ever, because you see them, they're like tracking like their whole life, like their whole day from morning to, like, she would post so many different things in the gym. She had a personal trainer, she had abs, she just looked great, and she was very, very active. And she would even talk about the things that she ate, like she's making chicken thighs, boneless, skinless chicken thigh, like different things that I'm like, I wonder if that's why she's not bringing up anything, any issue at all whatsoever. But not to say, I mean, as time went on, I learned that everyone's fibro is different. Not everyone is going to be as vocal about their pain, or anything that they're going through in that regard. So, and then the third thing is that some people are able to maintain their livelihood and be physically active and work a full-time job and do all the things. So that took a while for me to get to that point, because like I said, initially not proud of it, but I was low-key jealous, like, wow, I wish I could do that. I wish I could. And then there was another person that I started following around that same time, and I continue to follow this person. She worked full-time, and she did a lot of other things, mother, wife, like she was doing all the things as well. But she also touched on how none of the medications worked for her. So everything she did was alternative, like organic aromatherapies. She would do those, smell like she was feeling nauseous, and she had some other invisible illnesses that she spoke about as well. But I say all that to say, I shared this story to say that we should really not, for those of us who may feel this way, or in the past or currently, if we could just, I don't want to say sympathize, but like empower, like that's a great thing. It's really a great thing if you're able to battle it and push through and do all the things, because that's so goals. That's goals for me. And yeah, so that was the story. And let me know in the comments if if you want to share, if you've ever experienced that before. So thank you so much for listening to my ramble, my story. Thank you so much for visiting my page. I hope that you stay and comment, and even if you don't want to subscribe, just engage, because community is so important for me, and I just want to know, I just want to like touch and reach out to people out there who are going through, dealing with mental illness, physical, fibro, any type of invisible, chronic, painful condition. Just tap in, please, and I would really appreciate, I'll respond to whatever questions you may have. But stay hydrated. That's another reminder, as it's getting cooler. A lot of this is a reminder for myself as well. I tend to not drink as much as the temperature's cool. I'm starting to like more room temperature water, which I was always told that it's better, but something about ice cold water with lemon, with a splash of lemon zest or whatever. And I don't know if it's because of all the heat in Arizona, but I just love me some nice, cool, refreshing water with lemon, lime, making it alkaline, is what I was told by a friend back in the day. He was like, you know how to make alkaline water? I'm like, no, I just buy the bottled water that says alkaline. This is just a regular bottled water, but I was like, I'll just buy the one that says alkaline on it. I didn't take chemistry and all that. I mean, I did take chemistry, but I'm like, no, how do you make your water alkaline? He's like, just add a slight lemon and lime. So if you didn't know, now you know. Alrighty, thank you again for tuning into my channel. Stay active, stay in motion as much as possible. I know it's hard. As you guys can see, it's getting dark. I just find that this is the time when I get my energy, and it's not that kind of energy, but it's enough to make myself feel like I'm a little normal and without a chronic illness. But thank you again. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Peace. Until next time.